Hello and welcome to Brew Tap Cast. I am Tap here with another Flesh and Blood video. So this one is about Monarch. So Legend Story Studios just dropped a product sell sheet as well as a little bit of information about the upcoming April release of Monarch. So behind me is this gorgeous piece of art that they previewed out that shows this epic scene of light versus dark, good versus evil, angels versus demons, or godly battles, or whatever in the sky over Wraith. But yeah, that's that gorgeous art. But they also released some information on the set as well, and we want to look that over, dig into it, and get through it. So they had released this product sell sheet, so it's got all the information about the release. So we're having a April 30th release. It doesn't say anything about particularly anywhere. Maybe that is worldwide. I'm not really sure. Previews will start April 6th, and there's a pre-release wherever those are going to happen with COVID and all that kind of stuff on the 24th to the 25th. So I know that I won't have any place to do a pre-release here because my local shop doesn't even have the ability to get any of this stuff from LSS. The supply is just not there for them. Maybe by this set that will be different. I have no idea. I know they said they look into it, but I hope that other people can actually go to a pre-release and safely do that kind of thing, but I probably won't be able to. In any case, let's look at the sell sheet. Let's see what it says, and then we'll dig into other some stuff. So we should probably first start off with this quote, a chunk of lore text that they put on here. So that is this. So darkness, the canvas of the universe. Light, the brushstroke of creation. A forbidden power hungers to eclipse existence, wiping the canvas clean. The soul of Wraith stands resolute, a ray of hope to the artisans of civilization. So that's that sort of big story thing. So that there's probably some big monster thing coming in and bringing all this dark stuff, and everyone else is trying to get them back and win the world, all that kind of stuff. It also goes on to say that Monarch is a standalone booster set introducing 4 new heroes with all new mechanics to play out the classic conflict of light versus shadow across sealed deck, booster draft, and constructed formats. So that's important to know that there is all of it. So it's not like Crucible of War that is just for, increasing constructed play and stuff like that. It's not. This is a draftable, sealable, playable set in itself. 307 cards. So we can see, again, first edition release date, April 30th. 307 cards. Then they give you the whole breakdown, which is pretty much the same. There is an extra legendary, I believe, is what's going on here. So that's pretty exciting. There might be some speculation that that might be not a piece of equipment, which is pretty cool. So who knows what that'll be? Whether it's probably won't be a hero, but who knows? It'll be pretty exciting to have that be a thing. Maybe it's a whole new kind of card. I don't know, like a vehicle sort of thing, like in Magic, or like an animal, a companion sort of thing. Who knows? We're not going to get into that. No idea about that part. But another cool thing to note is they are going to have Blitz Decks. So first, Welcome to Wraith, they had classic constructed precons. Those were really cool, fun, exciting. Love them. They are also doing Blitz Decks now. And you can see from the breakdown, they have looks like 2 light, 2 dark. Or in this particular piece of media, they have 4 and 4, which is probably 2 for each of the heroes, or 2 for each of the colored of the heroes. And they did not explicitly state that there's 2 evil and 2 good, or 2 light and 2 dark, but they kind of make that assumption as they want to keep things balanced, that sort of thing. So Blitz Decks coming out on the 30th as well. Pretty exciting about those. Definitely want to try to pick them up myself. And then also, if you scroll down more, it talks about the Unlimited booster set. So again, April 30th is the first edition release. Previously, there have been months, if not more than a year, between release of the rest of Unlimited. This is 3 weeks, so they say May 21st is your time to get the Unlimited. So that's really awesome. 3 weeks later, that's stellar. So we don't have this huge wait. People are not going to be trying to snap this up necessarily just to hold and not have any product supply in existence. So that's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to having that access to those cards. People being able to play the game, more people getting into the game. That's honestly, out of this whole thing, I'm super pumped about the game, like the mechanics, all these new heroes, all this gorgeous art, but getting cards into people's hands is a huge thing. So I'm really glad that they're releasing this at a better time. I know things are crazy. That's probably why they pushed the release initially. They said it was going to be, I think they said it was going to be March or something like that. They pushed it to April. Hopefully that's because of this, trying to synchronize those things so everyone can have a whole bunch of supply and actually play the game. So, we know that there's 4 new heroes. We know that it's a set built for all sealed, draft, and constructed play. So let's get into some speculation now. So again, whole like we originally, when you heard Monarch, you think of like, well, this like kingly sort of thing with king's courts and stuff like that, like maybe Throne of Eldraine sort of stuff if you're coming from Magic, that sort of stuff, where these, king or different lords of the land would interact and it'd be political intrigue and all that kind of mumbo jumbo. But and hey, that's not me. People love that, and that's totally cool. This looks a little bit more exciting to me. So it looks like this battle from good and evil, as they said, light and dark, that sort of thing. So that's definitely a little bit for me, anyways, a little more of a positive spin on it. And it's the monarch of the world, I guess, instead of the continent or the area, which is what we were sort of, at least I was sort of thinking on when we first heard the term monarch. So what else could we sort of come from that? So we know this light and dark, and we see on that booster art that there are the 2 pack arts that we have. This, what's actually depicted here on the big picture behind me is this one angel character that's this light bearing sort of entity of good, and then this demon looking winged critter with this cool staff that might mean something. Who knows? That symbol might mean something. I don't know yet. I'm not super versed in the lore yet, but maybe there's 2 colors of booster packs themselves. Maybe like in other games, you did have maybe packs that were certain types of packs, and in Magic they had, I think it was one of the Theros sets, they have like these event decks that were based on a particular side of the battle. So Phyrexians versus the people of Meriden, that sort of stuff. So that was kind of a neat thing. Maybe they're playing on that. Maybe there'll be like different kinds of boosters. They probably won't be, because otherwise it'd be kind of a pain if you had to like give out prizes. Oh, I don't want a dark one, I want a light one, or whatever like that. So that, who knows about that? But that'd be an added layer of complexity and more functionality that would be kind of cool. So what we do know from previous talks is that the pitch zone is fully realized in this set. So, they spent a long time making this game, and they're slowly rolling out what they have now. And apparently we don't know everything about the pitch zone. There's still more to come. So this is the time where we learn it all. So what does that mean? Well, if we're looking at the theme that we know now, which is this light and dark thing, maybe pitching a light card or a dark card is actually going to have some other effect on what you do, or something like that. Or if you have a certain combination of whatever in your pitch zone, then there's a special effect, or certain cards will look at a kind of light or dark card in your pitch zone and have a certain bonus or detriment or weird counterplay or other spells. Oh, if you pitched a light card to defend with this attack a defense reaction or something like that, it gains +1. Or if you pitched a dark card to defend with this other defense reaction, maybe it deals 1x damage or 1 damage to opponent's hero, or puts a -1 on someone's equipment or something like that. Like, there's this neat counterplay of making a little bit more complexity there and generating more excitement just based on how you pitch. So if you have 2 blue cards and maybe they're essentially not going to make a difference because you're going to pitch them anyways, maybe the order in which you pitch matters, and that's kind of cool. So there's that extra layer of complexity and excitement that you can get from just using like your resource cards. Like, that's not something that's necessarily fun, but maybe they can make it fun and have some new neat sort of combinatory things in there. So that's pretty exciting. So that, I know we want to talk about the new heroes. So new hero speculation, and let us remember that it is, again, a full draftable, sealed, poolable, constructed, playable set, not like Crucible of War, a large amount of cards. So as other channels have pointed out, I agree that this is definitely going to be a set that is either going to be, they're going to be 4 new classes, because how could you put such an imbalance on these different classes in this set? Like, obviously they're probably not going to do all 8 classes put in here plus 4 new heroes of new classes. It's just not enough cards. Even with 307, there's not enough cards there. It just won't happen. It doesn't make sense. So likely they're going to be new or unsupported ones. So looking at the art there, pretty sure it's going to be some sort of healing angel, cleric, light class, maybe combination of those, like a cleric and then an angel, or a healer and an angel, or something like that. Obviously, I want to say there's going to be angels. It could just be cards you're playing that are going to feature angels. I don't know, maybe people are just able to command the angels or something like that, and vice versa for the other ones. That sort of that argument of being able to summon things makes more sense for the dark side, which is going to be your necromancers or these demon summoners or something like that, where you have these things that are making these creepy monsters that are flying on dead horse type looking things that you can see through their ribs, and they're with reaping blades for like these reapers and all that kind of stuff. So like, whether it's like a demon summoner, a demon lord monster thing, or a necromancer, which we know exists, that sort of stuff, who knows? But that would be the dark ones there. Also, the idea, well, maybe that's an angel warrior in a warrior class, but again, you're not going to want to balance or imbalance the set of cards, so likely they will be fresh classes. So again, healer, cleric, angel, demon, necromancer, monster, something like that might be the set of things. But there's also the possibility, less likely, but the possibility that you could have ones that are just less actually supported so far. So we have a couple. So we have the neutral classes that are not supported yet. So Captain as a merchant. There are no merchant cards. He got put into packs in Crucible of War. No merchant cards, no class cards for that, no class support. You can just sort of play whatever generics you want, and he does his thing. Maybe they'll have support for that. Whether he's a dark or a light, I mean, he looks kind of evil. He's like taking people's skins and hurting people and all that kind of stuff. So maybe he's one of those, or that class, which isn't necessarily, merchants themselves aren't evil or not. That could be one of the heroes as well, because that way you can have a whole set of cards for them. Not new class, but new hero. And then, have another set of merchant cards for two different merchant heroes. I want to say that's probably less likely because it's not necessarily trained to dark or light. And again, if this dark or light has some effect on the pitch zone, then who knows? That could throw that into chaos. As well as the next set, Kingdoms, seems more likely to have maybe a merchant support, because if you're having multiple kingdoms, maybe you have these merchants that travel between kingdoms or something like that. So like, logical lore sort of stuff suggests that no, you probably wouldn't have a merchant now, because like you maybe don't need it. And like, what is a merchant going to do to like, oh, I'm going to peddle my wares to the evil people and not the light people or whatever? That's probably less likely. The other unsupported class right now is the Shapeshifter. So we have Shayana, the Diamond Gemini. That is another Crucible of War release that doesn't have any Shapeshifter cards. They just sort of use whatever ability that your opposing hero has, and the rest are generics. It's very possible that card, or that class would be very, very difficult to balance well with such a large variety of other heroes and using their abilities. Maybe giving them actual shapeshifter cards might make things a little bit harder to balance that, because it might be too overpowered or something like that. Because you got to remember, the hero abilities that these heroes have are actually really good. That's like why you play some of the heroes, because they have this great thing that really works well with their cards. So having support for this one that just sort of takes random hero abilities, I mean, yeah, you have to build your deck to have unknown stuff going on there, but at the same time, maybe they're going to start stealing cards from your opponent. So yeah, I'm shapeshifting into your hero, and I'm going to take some of your cards and try to use them really well. So I'm less thinking that that's going to be one of the classes, but you never know. It still would be a balanced in the sense of card pool for particular classes. So not really sure about that as well. So as far as the lore goes, so I know that Red Zone Rogues had mentioned there was this PvE beta that Legend Story Studios had done at one of their events back, I'm not sure how long ago, a couple years, last year. It's only been out since 2018, so it was the last 2 years, because, probably wouldn't have happened at the end of 2018. Where there's this person versus everything. So like this, instead of just doing person versus person, so like competitive bash each other sort of thing, you might work together to bash either a large opponent or this sort of less interactive being thing that is the enemy that you are trying to team up and destroy as a team. So I wonder if this sort of thing could link to that. So again, we know that the lore has some stuff about Viseri being forced or convinced, or I'm not exactly sure how the lore goes. I have wanted to get my hands on one of those lore books like crazy. I love looking at that. I love having all that art, or just want to dig into it. Don't have a copy of that, so I don't really know what's in there. But I have a feeling that the photos that are shown is he's summoning this massive demon, and it does say Ancient Hunger, I believe this product sheet says. Yeah, so power, a forbidden power. So maybe it's something that was like banished, many years ago, is being brought back, and maybe that's this main enemy that you are going to team up with other people to sort of kill. And again, we've seen this in other games. So Magic has that Garrick thing that Red Zone Rogues is talked about. I think there was also something in the Theros block or something like that when you'd have it was more of a single person versus an enemy sort of thing that you'd have to do to beat up on this like Hydra or Minotaur. I can't remember what it was, but like this monster thing that you would just be battling it out to do that. So maybe it's something like that. I'm not sure, like a boss fight that you would team up with other people for. I think that's really cool, because some people, and again, this obviously this game is a competitive game. They've made it that way. trying to get competitive play started in a time of pandemic. There's stuff going on in New Zealand, Australia, Malaysia. Awesome that they can do those things. You know, the Auckland Calling's coming up soon. I think I don't actually know when it's happening, so that's pretty cool. So it doesn't have to be competitive, and I think that's something that will draw a lot more people into it, because maybe they just want to like have fun with their friends and they don't like to be, have like, negative stuff between them, and that's people's choices. So if you can appeal to a broader audience without interacting or negatively, hitting constructed or competitive play, why not do it? Give a better experience for everyone. Seems great. Go for it, man. I love it. In any case, those are my thoughts. I don't know, love looking at this new stuff. Can't wait to get my hands on new cards. So only a couple months away. Hopefully we'll start getting spoilers in early April. Be really cool to see what's going to be teased out. Those Blitz decks, really cool. Definitely want to try to get my hands on those. Can't find any of those on pre-order. I don't know if anyone else has. If you got any on pre-order, if you found anything, let me know. I'd love to try to get those on pre-order. Definitely want to nail those down. I love having that sort of stuff that, it's really great that I don't have to use my limited knowledge of this game to build decks that can fight against each other and then have a bad matchup. Whereas you get these decks straight from the company. They have play tested them. They've balanced them. They're making them ready for you to just take to someone new, trying to spread the game to, and then just play them out. Know that these decks are on the same power level. You're not going to blow this one person out of the water. It's a good way to teach. And Blitz, again, smaller deck size, a little bit of a quicker game. Definitely one to really have a way to spread that game. So really looking forward to try to get those. Let me know if you can find them on pre-order. I'm happy to go and dump money into that right now because I'm excited about getting those. But with all that, I think that's kind of it. Really looking forward to the set. Are my predictions way off? I don't know. I know that a couple other places have been talking about the border art and how that might have an interaction with, and that's super cool. And I love looking forward to that kind of stuff. That those small, minute details that can have a big sort of thing, a big play aspect in the game would be really exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. So let me know if my predictions or whatever I'm talking about is way off base, what you think, anything like that. But yeah, I hope I'm not crazy. It seems like there's going to be this evil people versus good people, and that's going to be 2 and 2 for the heroes. And hopefully they get new classes just to help that balance that card pool. So that's all we have for Brew Tap Cast. Again, I am Tap. Thank you for sticking around for this Flesh and Blood video on Monarch, and we will see you next time. Cheers.